Hey guys, hope you're good. So I know I had promised that I'm gonna be interviewing someone special, someone very dear to me. Her name is Kefe. So you know, even thinking about it really makes me feel a little bit emotional. I went to see Kefe in hospital. She got hit by a car. So Kefe is a lady that I met at the gym. She used to work at the gym where I work out. And you know me, I'm someone who always meets people. And it's just so easy for me to just, I think friends is the safest word to use to say. I easily make friends. One thing about me, I'm not shy. So yeah, she got hit by a car. She broke her leg. Obviously, is really bad. So I went to see her, and then I decided, you actually know what? Let me just have a chat with this lady. And one of the most interesting things was when she told me that she's very passionate about, injury rehabilitation. And I was like, how insane is it that you are passionate about something that you are now experiencing? What a better way than to experience something and be able to talk about it from experience. When you're trying to heal other people, it's always easier when you speak from experience, even though it's like so painful and it's obviously not something that we wish upon anyone. But what I love about her is how she's taking it with so much grace. She's so strong. She's so, and I love the fact that she allows herself, basically. She allows herself to break down when she needs to, but she doesn't stay in that space for a very long time. So she's ready to pick herself up and just keep moving. And that's one thing I love about her. One thing that makes her extraordinary for me. For someone to be able to go through such a traumatic experience and be able to just move from it, that is big. That is huge. It's not easy to just be brave and get through the challenges that we face. No one wants to face any challenges, but it's unfortunate that we will face challenges of all types, whether we like it or not, whether we're in control of it or not. But it's important for us to embrace these challenges and just run with them. And one of the most exciting things, I was in Mozambique, you guys. I left on Friday. I came back on Monday night. Yes, it was such a beautiful experience. I went home. We live in Maputo town, but my grandmother, who birthed my mom, stays in a village in Mozambique called Magude. I think it's like 5 hours out of town. I was really excited about this. I haven't been home in a very long time, and I call it home. A lot of people ask me, were you born in Mozambique? I'm like, no, my mom is from Mozambique. I was born in South Africa. My dad is also South African. But I love Mozambique, you guys. Crazy. I just love it. Absolutely love it. The vibe, the loving people, the food. It's really amazing. I went to Magude village, and oh my goodness, what a drive. But it was so beautiful. You know how you meet all these old people that are your relatives that you don't know, but they sort of remember you. They know you from childhood. They met you when you were a child, and they're excited. And the experience of being in a village. One of the best things about being in a village is the clean atmosphere. Like, you breathing clean air, you feel it, you smell it. Like, it's so clean. It's quiet, it's peaceful. Seeing all the cattle, the different types of foods that they cook that I was scared to taste. I don't like experimenting with food, but it was just really beautiful to be there. How they've got pomegranate trees. I've never seen a pomegranate tree. I just see the fruit, but I've never seen how it's grown or where it grows, whether it grows on a tree or from the ground. I have no idea. But I saw it and it was beautiful to see. And it was such a beautiful experience. I went where my grandmother was buried to just sort of connect. And ever since I got back, you guys, my mind is so clear. My spirit is so quiet. The busyness that was in my mind is gone. I feel so free. I feel like a human being again. And I can't believe it took me so long to go back home, and I'm hoping that I won't stay long again before I go back home. So yeah, I will share a bit of that experience and some pictures and everything that I got up to. But for now, this is all about Kefe, and it's nothing major. I was just having a little chat with her, getting to know her, trying to understand a bit of what she's going through. It's so unfortunate, and I'm praying for her healing. I know God is there. And one of the things that also stood out for me was the fact that she's in a public hospital. I've never been hospitalized in a public hospital, but we obviously have heard so many things about public hospitals. But as far as she says and her experience, she says that she hasn't experienced anything weird or bad. The nurses are nice to her, they're taking care of her, But obviously, with me having to enter that place, it was a weird experience for me. The treatment is different. I've been in hospital so many times. Hospital was at some point my second home, but I was fortunate enough, and I'm so grateful, and I have every reason to be thankful to have been going to a private hospital. So every hospital experience I've had was with a private hospital, and I thank God for that. So I just really wanted to get that feel, that energy, everything. So I hope it's audible enough, because obviously it's a public hospital, it's more noisier, where versus where the hospital where I've been, I've usually been in a private room when I'm alone, where anything could happen, and you've got that privacy versus her space. But I'm glad that she's being treated with love, with respect. And it's the process is longer. She's awaiting her scans, she's it's a lot. It's really a lot, but I love her, absolutely love her, and I appreciate her bringing me rather into her space. And I hope you guys pick up something from what she says and run with it, and we learn from each other's experiences. And I'm excited for more interviews that are coming, more phenomenal women that I'll be interviewing. We are all amazing people. We all have a story to tell. And if you have anything that you would like to share with my viewers, hit me up on my socials and let us chat, let us talk and share our experiences. And we can only grow from our experiences. Much love. And it's nothing formal, so just be yourself and just speak from the heart. So it's nothing hectic. Okay, so my first question for you, it's not really a question, but it's just I just want you to give our viewers like a short story as to how you met me, and your first impressions of me and how you got to be so comfortable with me in your space. And this is like your very personal space, so it's just breaking that down.
So I remember the first time I met you, I needed my wig to be done, and you fixed wigs. So I used to work at a gym, and one of my colleagues suggested you. So I got your number. No, you came to the gym to sign up, and I was like, oh, I also heard that you wigs. Please fix my wig. And then you fixing my wigs and how they got to. So we started being close, and we exchanged numbers obviously, and that's how we spoke to each other's statuses. And I saw your story when you posted about your story, and now we kept encouraging each other. And because you allowed me in that personal space, I was like, okay, and then yeah, that's how we became close. And then until I got into the accident, and you were so showing so much support.
Yeah, I'm here today. I just wanted to talk to you. When I think one of the craziest things is how everything just works together. When they say everything works together for your own good, it never makes sense. And when things happen around us, we never understand why they have to happen a certain way. And I often question God. I found myself questioning God to say, but I'm such a nice person. I'm always taking care of everyone. Why would you put me through this? I didn't get that, and I had to really process everything and take it in, and that's when everything started to make sense. So I wanna know how and why do you allow me into such a personal space?
It's my first time being involved in a car accident. Yeah. It's so surreal. Yeah. It's emotional. It's traumatic, and I also related it to you when you first got diagnosed. I don't know, but the depth of emotion, the not knowing what to do, you can relate to it. And also because you just stepped off on a good vibe. So when you were there to show me support, and really also because you've been through such a thing that is as traumatic, you know, and getting the same experiences, like feeling like you were growing, questioning yourself, why me, whatever. Well, not why me, but what's gonna happen, you know. Yeah, so I trusted you because I felt like to some extent you could relate, and I didn't mind getting you into that personal space.
Well, I feel honored. I definitely feel honored.
Because it's not like that with even people I've worked with.
Yeah. No, it's always easier to relate to people that have kind of been in the same space, even if someone did not have to be in the hospital. But I think in life experiences, we do kind of relate to other people in a certain way, and I get what you mean. And I just wanted to. Obviously, I wanted to interview because here you are, we're in a hospital, and you find yourself in this situation that you never planned for. And before we get to this, I want you to tell me, do you know what your purpose is in life, or what you aspire to do, or what is it that you find closest to you that is meaningful?
Yeah. Okay, so I always felt like I'm a teacher and a healer. So I've always wanted to be there for people, not necessarily by like being a doctor, but then if I could come to you, I'm an empath, be it emotional, physical, whatever, I can relate to people's pains, whether I've been through it or not. So yeah, as I said, I feel like my purpose that I've been sent to heal people and teach them and educate and comfort, because I know I'm very good at teaching and everything. So yeah, that's how I feel. And now that I can really relate pertaining to my field of work, like rehabilitating injuries, which is my passion. Now I'm in it, and I have to like now first hand rehabilitate, you know. And now I understand the psychology behind it, as I've always wanted to understand. That's why I merged psychology and rehabilitation. So yeah.
And it makes sense.
But it hits differently now that it's me.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, how do you feel? So I think take us from the moment that this happened to you finding yourself sitting here. How has the whole emotional roller coaster been for you?
So yesterday I was telling my doctor that I need to see a psychologist because I am aware that I'm bumping. So when the person who bumped me, when she bumped me, I just found myself comforting her in the pain I was in. I was like, no, calm down, it's a mistake, it's fine. And now, after everyone's been there for me and not being able to really deal with those emotions and being in hospital for 2 weeks, it's hitting her, it's a lot. It's being angry when someone asks me how am I doing. It's not wanting visitors, it's my own personal space, but I want someone here to be here.
And it makes sense.
It's wanting someone close by to understand what's happening, the anxiety, it's just an emotional and being aware that I'm not okay, but not being able to do anything about it.
It's a one day at a time. Yeah, it's a healing process, and I think healing is the worst part of everything that we ever experience in life, because you're thinking to yourself, I could have stayed, or I could have not eaten that, I could have. There's so much that you.
I only say I wish I could turn back the time and see her approaching.
Yeah. But it doesn't work like that. But you know, when we say good and bad work together for your own good, when you sent me a bio, for me it was like, you know, when you literally said to me, I'm passionate about injury rehabilitation and stuff like that, and I was like, see 1 + 1 = 2. So I was just talking to your mom, and I was saying, you know, it's easy to say I'm passionate about something. It's easy for me to say, I mean, I'm all about women empowerment. You know, women, here we go. But when you're going to speak to people, or you're going to have to share stories and whatever, you always need that personal experience touch. You need it. And that's the painful part. So that's where you grow. That's where now when you speak to me, now you're going to find someone else who's going through this, and you're going to sit down with them, and then you're going to talk to them. Let's talk to them from experience. You understand? You experienced it personally. You didn't hear say it, but you know it. And when you speak to that person, now you're speaking from the heart, and you understand exactly what they're going through. Now you know what to say, what not to say. You can never always have the perfect words, but the way you tread around that person will always be in such a certain way, because you know to some extent what they're going through, but people go through things differently. But I think one of the things that stood out for me about you is me getting the other day when I came to see you, and you're so strong. And you're like, I'm okay, I'm okay. You know, and it's that for me, that is strength. It doesn't, I know you're not okay 24/7. I know you will break down. I know today will be better, tomorrow will be worse. You know, the next day will be even worse. But the days are not the same. But what's important is you choosing not to be in that dark space for too long. It's very important. It's very important for us to not be. When you break down, you cry, you feel all the emotions, you talk about it, whatever that works for you. It's important to do that. But it's very important to not dwell in that space for too long, because then it consumes you. So what prolongs healing is us allowing that thing to take over us. So no, you will take over that pain, you know, but only you and only you deep down in your soul know what you're feeling physically, spiritually, mentally. This is life changing. It's very much life changing. I can only imagine. I could only relate to this through my experience. You go through all these body changes and certain things now don't work, and that's just like, it's like I'm a baby now. I'm starting going bad. But then the patience comes in, and then it comes down to the space that you need to be taken care of. This is your time to be taken care of, and you allow that, because it's not going to be forever. It's part-time. You understand? So, but now, how do you feel like this links to your purpose? Like, how now do you see everything?
So as you've touched on it now, I know, speaking from my personal experience, now I really can relate with someone when they tell me what they feel, you know, and how they do it. So
has it changed? Has it changed everything? Has it changed literally from my purpose is, I have a passion for this, to now sitting here and thinking about your passion? Has it changed how you think about it, how you see it?
It has. Like, now I want to do it more. I want to be there for people. I want to testify. I want to use my journey as an example. You know, I want to talk about it. I want to empower other people. I just want to do that. I want to speak about how tough it is mentally. Like, you know, even me encouraging patients, and when I receive the courage, sometimes I'm just like, shut up. You know,
it's easier to give that advice than to take it. Yeah, it's always tough.
Now I know, and now the mental setting, you know, trying to push yourself out of that dark place, because knowing that the consequences of staying there too long and feeling sorry for yourself for too long, it just lessens it, you know, it doesn't get better. So I still want to go forward. I want to one day at a time.
Keep pushing and keep being yourself. I think the most important thing is not to lose yourself in this process. But I absolutely adore your strength. I adore the love you just have for everyone else. And for me, I think I asked you your first impressions about me and all of that, because I know when I first met you, it was your calmness. It was your calmness, and you know, when you saw my story, then you started asking a whole lot of questions, and you saw how I just answered it without even thinking twice, because that is my way of healing. I heal through sharing my experience. And one of the things I saw with my experience is how strangers were so supportive and loving, and the way people just showed up at the hospital just to see me, you know, that is just love, and that's God's love. That's God showing you, because obviously we don't see God physically, but God will then represent himself as a certain person. So someone will come and say something, will send a message or whatever, and that's when you see the love of God. That's how he shows you his love, and the least we can do is receive that love and really hold on to it, and then we can pay it forward. So not everyone you help must help you back, but whoever helps you, then you pay it forward. The next person who needs it, then you help for them. So I'm excited for you for what's to come in the future. I know you're going to be okay by God's grace. You are healed. The fact that you're here to be able to tell your story, it can only get better from now going forward. And this is not a setback. It is not. I know it feels like it, but it isn't. So now you take your time to heal. Don't rush anything. It is a marathon, not a sprint. Any type of challenge you go through in life, God knows the window. It's from here until here. You don't know this is going to take you how long, but he knows already, right? So you look at the bright side, you look
that you focus on that bright side. So like, I'm gonna get there and I'm gonna be fine. But for now, what is the, you ask him, what is it that you want me to learn?
Exactly, I was
Okay. So what am I learning? What am I supposed to grasp in this process? What is it that you want me to see? What is it that you want me to learn? He wants you to learn about your passion. To really look at the depth of it, and next time when you speak to someone and they ask you, what was it like for you? You know, I have a lady that is counseling. She's a counselor, but she's a breast cancer survivor. So she was referred to me by a friend of mine when I was going through like a dark time, and she was like, you know, I know someone. Can I give her your number? She called me, and I said to her, she said to me, what's wrong? And I said to her, you know, before I tell you what's wrong, tell me what you are feeling as a cancer patient. And she was like, no, this is not about me, this is about you. I was like, you better start talking. So she started talking and she started sharing everything. And I was like, everything that you just said to me is exactly what I'm feeling. So I don't have any other words to add or whatever. Exactly everything you said. I just wanted to hear and understand if then what I'm feeling and what I'm going through is it normal. And it is. So when you speak to those people, then you will understand. And the Bible says, when you're going through a tough time, remember which you're not the only one going through that. So it doesn't mean you invalidate. It doesn't invalidate what you're going through, but it's just to make you understand that we're okay one. So together we join what? Forces in faith, and we pray, and we can only hope and we ask God to be a part of it. So God is in control. God is very much in control. And I can never but now you look at this and you're like, this is a new beginning for me. This is a new beginning. So how do you go from now?
I don't know. I just have faith. I don't even want to. I don't want to calculate.
Actual faith is what we don't know.
Like literally, I don't want to calculate. I don't want to think about it. But I'll just depend on God really and see where we go.
I absolutely love that. Thank you so much for allowing me to interview you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Randy. How much are you charging us?
Your services.
Shame, and I know she's trying to